Imagine a Porsche engine so wild. It packed 18 cylinders and promised more power than some modern hypercars. Yet almost nobody has ever heard it roar. The W18 was Porsche's secret experiment, a machine that defied logic, pushed engineering limits, and still remains one of the brand's biggest what-ifs. But here's the twist. It never made it to production. Why would Porsche build an engine so extreme, only to hide it away? Let's take a closer look. Before Porsche became known for electrified precision, with icons like the Taycan and 911 Turbo, its engineers were chasing something far more outrageous. In the mid-1990s, deep inside Stuttgart's research facilities, Porsche began experimenting with a concept that seemed almost impossible: an 18-cylinder engine. This wasn't just another prototype. It was Porsche's attempt to leapfrog the competition and to create an engine smoother than a V12, more compact than a W16, and powerful enough to rival anything Ferrari or Bugatti could imagine. The idea was simple, but daring. Stack 3 banks of 6 cylinders into one powerhouse, producing immense power without sacrificing refinement. On paper, it looked perfect, but in reality, it raised more questions than answers. Could it be reliable? Could it fit in a production car? And most importantly, why would Porsche, a brand built on balance and precision, chase something this extreme? Today, we're uncovering the forgotten story of the W18, how it came to life, what it promised, and why it vanished before the world ever saw it run. When you first hear W18, it sounds like science fiction, but for Porsche's engineers, it was a bold reality: 3 banks of 6 cylinders stacked in perfect formation, creating a rhythm smoother than a V12 and almost electric in response. Imagine standing beside it, 18 pistons moving in harmony, firing in perfect synchronization. Early prototypes were rumored to produce nearly 800 horsepower, with torque so immediate, it felt decades ahead of its time. The design was mesmerizing. Each bank angled precisely to minimize vibration, allowing engineers to fit this beast into a chassis not much larger than a 911. The goal? Build a super engine that could deliver mind-bending power without needing a hypercar-sized body. But there was a price. Complexity. Over 400 moving parts, synchronized within millimeters of tolerance. Cooling was a nightmare. Even the smallest imbalance could cause catastrophic stress. And the cost? Astronomical. Still, Porsche pressed on. This wasn't just about performance. It was about proving what was possible. Insiders say the W18 quietly influenced later icons, the Carrera GT's V10, and even today's hybrid systems. But as tests continued, doubts began to rise. Could a W18 ever make sense on the road? Or was it destined to remain a dream on a test bench? And then it finally happened. Porsche's mythical W18 roared to life. The sound wasn't just noise. It was a mechanical symphony. Deep, thunderous engineers described it as controlled chaos. 18 cylinders firing in perfect precision, producing a low-end rumble that swelled into an earth-shaking growl. On the test bench, the numbers were staggering. Nearly 800 horsepower, smoother than a V12, faster in response than most race engines of the era. It worked, but the W18 was too hot to handle. Cooling remained an unsolved riddle. The engine's compact design trapped heat, and even experimental radiators couldn't keep temperatures stable. Porsche realized the truth. They had built something beautiful, but impractical. It broke their own principles of balance, efficiency, and reliability. The dream was real, but reality caught up. The W18 story ended quietly, its legacy buried in Porsche's archives. Yet, its spirit lived on, guiding the evolution of Porsche's performance DNA for decades to come. In the end, Porsche's W18 wasn't a failure. It was a bold experiment that redefined what engineering imagination could achieve. It never powered a production car, But its lessons shaped Porsche's future, from the Carrera GT's V10 to the 918 Spyder's hybrid and even the Taycan's electric powertrain. The pros were undeniable: immense power potential, smooth mechanical harmony, and a fearless push beyond convention. But the downsides were just as clear: heat, cost, complexity, and the simple fact that sometimes brilliance doesn't mean practicality. For purists, the W18 stands as a symbol of the golden age of experimentation, when Porsche dreamed in cylinders, not in software updates. In today's EV era, it reminds us of what true mechanical passion once sounded like. So what do you think? Should Porsche ever bring back a project like the W18, maybe as a hybrid or electric tribute? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving into one of Porsche's wildest secrets, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next deep dive into automotive history. Because sometimes, the cars we never got tell the best stories of all.